This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
I've been waiting for Celebration all year long.
Are you ready to celebrate?
California. I love LA. We love it. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate.
Oh, and guess what? This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is James Arnold Taylor, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi. I have a good feeling about this.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to Coffee with Kenobi show number 519. This is your spoiler-free place for Star Wars community and conversation. I'm your host, Dan Zayer, thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. You can support Coffee with Kenobi by following the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Help spread the word by tweeting that you're listening, share it on Facebook, or invite your family and friends to tune in and share a cup of coffee with us. Coffee with Kenobi is a proud member of the Speaker Prime program. Thank you also to members of the CWK Alliance. Find out how you can join the Alliance for as little as $1 a month and get access to exclusive podcast videos and much more at coffeewithkenobi.com/CWK Alliance. I also want to thank the official travel partner of Coffee with Kenobi, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. If you are interested in a no-cost, no-obligation quote for your next vacation, check out coffeewithkenobi.com/mousefantravel and let them know Coffee with Kenobi and Dan Zayer sent you. You sure by now have seen the Coffee with Kenobi logo that we have for you. It is brand new. It's exciting. Designed by the amazing Cory Clubb. If you would like to purchase the hat with the Coffee with Kenobi logo, you have until May the 4th to do so. Be sure to go to our website, coffeewithkenobi.com. It's on the top right, or it's all over our social media page. And that is how you can get your chance to purchase that item. It's time to break down Star Wars Celebration. We are 1 month away, so we are going to start the Road to Celebration shows. Let's go ahead and kick this baby off. Here we go. Joining us today for a cup of coffee, it's here. We are ready for the Road to Celebration, one of my favorite times. I would say it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it doesn't happen every year. It happens every couple of years. So you got to bring in the heavy hitters to get ready, to get psyched, to get pumped up for Star Wars Celebration. So we've got with us first the co-host of Teachers in the Dungeon and CWK Prover, Tom Gross.
Oh, well, thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I don't know that in my life I've ever been called a heavy hitter. Boom, boom, boom. I've always been called a lightweight, but great to be here. Oh, so excited. I have to say that the excitement is different this time because I've got a celebration under my belt. Oh, yes. So I know what to be excited for. I know. Do you ever know what to expect? You kind of have some expectations. So, wow, it's great. I'm so happy to be here talking about it with you.
Well, it's great to have you, my friend. Also joining us, another heavy hitter, the co-creator of Coffee with Kenobi and the designer throughout the galaxy known as Cory Clubb. He's also the co-host of Pour Over, as you know. Let's bring him in, Cory. What's up?
Yeah, hey, welcome. Thank you. I actually, you can't see me, but I am sporting the CWK logo T-shirt. Folks who don't have that yet, it's great. It's comfy. It's cozy. I'll be repping it in the aforementioned celebration. So yes, I too am excited this year to go because it feels like it's been longer than forever. Really, I mean, I feel like everybody got ramped up for it, and then of course it was canceled last couple of years. I think just a matter of, obviously COVID hit and it was a downer. A lot of things were, scheduled to move forward, but this is it. I'm excited. This is everything is running. Everything is going, even more so. Just the fact that I can see everybody and some wonderful times and some great memories.
I love it. Well, you mentioned a lot of cool things there. It's been nice in the CWK Cafe having people post their pictures of their T-shirts and their coffee mugs of the brand new logo that you designed. I think it's funny that I still haven't gotten my shirt yet, even though I ordered it probably the second it went live. But I'm sure we'll get it soon. I got my mug. And speaking of CWK logos, you've got until May the 4th Order that baseball hat. We are still about 5 or 6 orders short of making this actual order happen. So if you're planning on getting a hat, you are running out of time. You have until May the 4th. And if we did it correctly, you will have them in time for Star Wars Celebration, which is very, very cool. Speaking of cool, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Ironically, when we realize we're a month away from Star Wars Celebration, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the guests, certainly, but we didn't really know anything about the panels. Well, today, the day of this recording, April 27th, we know about the panels. We're going to kind of go through things chronologically. Gentlemen, the guests, I'm going to go through the guest list for you right now. For autographing and photo opportunities, we've got Amy Allen, who's Ayla Secura from episodes 2 and 3. Anthony Daniels, of course, C-3PO. Ashley Eckstein, who we all know is Okatano. Billy Lord, who is Lieutenant Connix and also the daughter of Carrie Fisher. Carrie Jones is Chrysanthemum. Carl Weathers, the great Carl Weathers, is Grief Karga. Daniel Logan from episode 2 is Boba Fett. D. Bradley Baker from The Bad Batch and many, many other Star Wars projects. Dickie Beer, who was Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi. Emily Swallow, who is the armorer in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Ewan McGregor himself for his first ever celebration.
Who's that guy?
Kenobi. Exactly. Small part. It could be an up-and-comer. Giancarlo Esposito is Moff Gideon. Ian McDermott is Palpatine, of course. Jet Lucas is Zet Jukasa. Eunice Suetamo is Chewbacca. Katie Sackhoff, Bo-Katan Kryze. Katie O'Brien is from The Mandalorian. Kelly Marie Tran, who I think is awesome, is Rose Tico. Kevin Thompson is Chewbray from Return of the Jedi. Margot Apostolos is Tolkien, another Ewok. Matt Lanter, of course, is from The Clone Wars. Michelle Ang is Omega from The Bad Batch. Omid Abtahi is Dr. Pershing from The Mandalorian. Early Shoshan is Shakti. Sam Witwer is from The Clone Wars and Rebels. Tim Rose is Admiral Akbar. And then we've got all the featured authors from The High Republic: Kevin Scott, Charles Soule, Claudia Gray, Daniel Jose Elder, Doug Chang, Justina Ireland. Also going to be a featured guest at Star Wars Celebration is the one and only executive chairman and founder of Rancho Obi-Wan, our good friend Steve Sansweet. And then there are a couple of stage hosts. You've got Amy Radcliffe, who is no stranger to Celebration, has been hosting for quite a while. And then the new guy in town, in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
Dan's there. That is me. I'm one of the hosts of Star Wars Celebration, which we talked about on Facebook. We've talked about it on Program. Never really talked about it on the show. It's going to be fun. As far as what specifically I will be hosting, stay tuned, friends. That information will be coming very, very soon. So, guys, what do you want to say about these guests? Have you purchased any tickets for an autograph or a photo opportunity, or how do you feel about that? Let's start with you, Tom.
Well, at Chicago Celebration, I'm looking at it right now up on my wall. I got a photo with Ashley Eckstein, and I got a 2-for-1 photo with Ray Park and Ian McDermott. And those are super cool photos. As far as like looking at this list, I have not purchased the ticket yet. I'm on the fence with it. Not that I would not love to get my picture taken with any of these people. Although I have to say, I just at Indiana Comic-Con got my photo with Emily Swallow, who plays the armorer. So that one is done. But I haven't purchased any. The ones that I'm most interested probably are the Mandalorian actors and actresses: Giancarlo Esposito, Katie Sackhoff, Dr. Pershing, Omar Abdi. That's one that I've looked at quite a bit. And you know what? Michelle Ang I wouldn't mind getting a photo with her. Just some really cool people there. But you know what? I wouldn't turn down any of those. But the wallet is limited. So you have to make choices. But no,
I will say Ewan McGregor is already sold out. So if it was somewhere in defense, that fence has passed.
Yeah. Yeah. Not surprised.
Nope. No, it is his first time in Celebration. And he was $299, which is obviously not cheap, but you're paying for a very high caliber star. I believe that's how much Mark Hamill was when he was here for Celebration. He won't be at this Celebration, as he did say on Twitter, because he will be filming the Fall of the House of Usher out of the country, which he will definitely be missed. Ooh. And I told him that on Twitter, and he liked my tweet, so I feel happy about that.
It's just like an autograph. Yeah, for me, Tom, you got a great list there. Obviously, Ian McGregor would be at top of my list. I think very cool. I didn't know you got Emily Swallow as autograph and or photo op at Indiana. That's great. Yeah, I kind of lean towards, I guess, the ones that can stand out to me. I've met Ashley Eckstein before. Carl Weathers was a big standout. I'd like to meet him just because he kind of extends outside the Star Wars universe a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, and Espinoza, I said that name wrong. Moff Gideon himself would be really cool. I actually also have an autograph from Katie Sackhoff, which I like her. She's a lot of different franchises as well.
You ordered that, right? Is that right?
I did order that from officially from the
I remember that
Star Wars autograph. I don't remember the name of it. It's official. I think it was for a charity cause she was doing, and it was just a Bo-Katan photo that she signed in silver ink. Pretty cool. But yeah, Sam Witwer would be another one I'd pick out as well. That'd be cool to meet him and get to interact there. So, I mean, like you said, I would. Anybody on this list I'm all for taking a shot, and and that's the thing too about Celebration. You mentioned. All these great names, and a lot of the times, sometimes you just have these magical moments. I think that maybe you're walking down the hallway, you're stepping on the bathroom, you're making your way through the crowd, and boom, you rub shoulders with somebody.
Eating some nachos at breakfast.
Eat some nachos at breakfast. There's somebody off. I've met some people just by happenstance. So I think those are just as memorable as the ones I think that you. That's not necessarily, line up for, but, in the sense of those interactions are special to me. Just standing in line and having Anthony Daniels dance his way down the red carpet there and sing to us, I think it was, and you made him laugh. Remember that? And it was just like, those memories are just huge to me. I'll go, I say go for it. If you got the wallet to go meet these folks and get a photo op, I think go for it. But, who knows? Anything is possible.
Is for me of everyone listed, you mentioned great ones. I mean, of course, who wouldn't want to meet Ewan McGregor? That is certainly a steep one. Is there any Star Wars actor that you pay $299 to get a picture with? I mean,
me?
I know what I would say.
Right now?
Yeah, let's say that money's no object. Well, no, I guess money would be an object because
Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
I would lay down a potential high dollar figure for Harrison Ford. I don't know why. It's just like it's an instinct.
Because he's Harrison Ford. Absolutely.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He just has these fingerprints on cinema, and
yeah.
I mean, I guess I have to tell you, Dan, right?
Yeah.
You made him laugh too.
Yes, I did. Pretty wonderful. Yeah. Pretty wonderful. Yeah. I'll say, Tom, is there one for you? Because I'm going to throw a name out that I think both of you are like, yeah, I think I would be tempted.
Sitting here today, probably not. But when I'm pressed with the situation, standing and looking at them and having that, I mean, Harrison Ford, of course. Oh gosh. All right. Why am I? I don't know. No, Harrison Ford's probably it. Someone from the original trilogy would be worth it. Even Anthony Daniels, I'd probably, if he's standing in front of me and someone says, "Hey, it's open. It's this much. Go in." I'm like, yeah, probably Anthony Daniels. I would as well. Who are you going to throw out? I'm dying to know.
The name I'm going to throw out is Pedro Pascal.
That'd be a good one.
Oh,
or Liam Neeson would be another one.
Liam Neeson would be amazing.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson would be great. Daisy Ridley would be phenomenal.
Natalie Portman
would be great. That would be nice if she was.
Gosh, now there's a lot now.
Yeah. There's a lot of great ones. There's a lot of really great ones.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, it's cool that this is an option. It's cool that it is something that we can actually do and think about again. It's a moment. It's an experience. Tom has a great story about when he did this with Ashley Eckstein. I mean, Cory and I did this at Celebration Orlando. We both teamed up with David Motters and Aaron Harris, and we got our picture with Felicity Jones and Alan Tudyk from Rogue One, and that was nice. We just talked to him very, very briefly, but it was very kind, and she was very, very sweet. And we both got our pictures with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Right. Yep.
At Celebration as well. We've also done this at Indiana Comic-Con with Carrie Fisher, the late great Carrie Fisher. And these are really quick moments. You make eye contact with them, you smile, thank you, and then you move on. But you're around them for a minute, and it's very surreal. It's very much feels like an out of body experience. And then when you're done, you've got a lifetime image, which is pretty special. I think I'm not really much of an autograph guy. I used to, but now to me, the pictures are really special. But Tom, tell your story really quickly before we move on about your Ashley Eckstein experience.
So when I was there, first of all, I took her book, and I can see it, but I can't read it off the wall, and I don't recall what the name of it is. It's written for girls about what's her brand?
Her Universe.
Yep. Her Universe. Thank you so much. Anyway, I took that with, and I when I got in there, I said, my daughter is reading your book. Could we take a picture with that? And she's like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. So we snapped the shot. Said my farewells to her. Super, super nice. I mean,
my farewells.
She acted like
parting is such sweet sorrow.
Goodbye.
Let me say goodnight until it be tomorrow.
Okay. But you know what? It is kind of like that, because it's like, oh gosh, I want to spend more time. And she really made it feel that way. Like she wanted to just keep on talking to you. It made you really feel special in the moment. But I went to go get the photo, and I waited and I waited. And finally, like several people had gone by, and they're like, what are you waiting for? I said, a photo with Ashley. And they looked, I gave them my ticket, and they're like, you got to go back. And so they walked me back through the line and got me in front. And I came into the kind of the back door of her booth, and they got me back in there. And she's like, I said, I guess I just broke the camera. I said, I don't know. And so we kind of laughed, and she says, it was probably me. And so anyway, so we got a second shot. My hope, my fingers were crossed that I was going to go back out there, and they're going to be like, oh, your first one printed too. So here you go. I have both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
But it didn't work, but it was cool. So I got to see her twice in, a matter of minutes, just a stroke of luck, that it didn't work, or maybe for some people they wouldn't consider that luck, but it was a lot of fun to walk in through the back and her look at me and go, weren't you just in here? And so we had a good chuckle and a laugh about that.
It doesn't surprise
I will say
me
about Emily Swallow, if you get your picture with Emily Swallow, on my way out, I said, this is the way. And she smiled at me and she goes, this is the way.
Yes. Well done, Tom. That's amazing.
Oh, that's great.
If you get your picture with Emily Swallow,
okay,
drop this is the way, and she'll give you a reply.
Right there.
So yeah, it's funny. You're out on the floor, you're trying to see panels, you're waiting in line for an exclusive, you're talking to friends, and you look at your clock and like, oh my gosh, in a half hour I got to take a picture with Ashley Eckstein or whoever the Star Wars celebrity is. So that's pretty neat. I will say for Rancho Obi-Wan, for Steve, he's in there, and you can walk through. There's a special queue. If you're a member of Rancho Obi-Wan, then you get access to a Lightspeed queue where you can get to the front quicker, and you're guaranteed to meet Steve, which, Steve is one of the nicest guys ever. And that is definitely a treat. He's in a different section on the Celebration stage floor, but he's great. All right. So let's go ahead. I feel like that's a pretty good description of these autographs. At the time of this recording, the only one that's sold out is Ewan McGregor. There are some team ups that I don't know if people realize, but you can get one with Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lanter, as Ahsoka and Anakin. You can also get one with Thea Bradley Baker, Ashley Eckstein, and Matt Lanter for Ahsoka, Anakin, and Rex. So those are pretty cool.
That's cool.
Little team ups you can do. That one is actually $300, but you're getting 3 people. And then the one with Eckstein and Lantern is $255. So there you go. And the Celebration, the official picks site where you can, because you have to, let's be clear, you have to prepay, right? You have to prepay for your autograph or your picture. And Tom, you get a QR code, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So if you're thinking about that, act quickly, especially with someone you think might be gone. They often on the website, it will show you what days they're available, and they give you some time slots to kind of choose from. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Star Wars Celebration Anaheim panel reservation details. Let's go over really quickly what the main panels are that we know of so far. For the main ones themselves. So I'm scrolling down here. Basically, on Thursday, this is basically a showcase of everything related to Lucasfilm. It is called, what it says is join Lucasfilm's filmmakers and special guests for a look at what's coming soon to a galaxy near you. That's going to be on Thursday, May 26th. Lucasfilm's current crop of live-action filmmakers will be joined by special guests to discuss the many Star Wars adventures, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and The Mandalorian. That's the main one on Thursday. That is replacing, usually when there's a new Star Wars movie out, that's the one that we see. But this is what is leading the way for that one. And then we've got the Mandalorian panel is going to be on Saturday. And that is going to be featuring Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni talking about The Mandalorian and perhaps giving us some ideas about what we're going to see for season 3. It's going to give us a look ahead, which is really, really great. And then on Sunday, you're going to get to meet with, it's called Fall In with Star Wars The Bad Batch. You're going to get to chat with David W. Collins, who's hosting that one, with the director and head writers, Matt McNavitz, I believe, and then Dee Bradley Baker and Michelle Ang are going to talk about highlights from the first season and what's to come for season 2. Guys, to me, these are all must-dos. I mean, especially the Mandalorian one, naturally. Yep. But knowing we're going to get to see a lot of surprises for the first one, they like to start out these celebrations with a massive bang. So I'm looking forward to whatever that is going to lead. Anything you guys want to say before we talk about how to get into these panels? Because that's the question I've been getting the most.
You mentioned some of the people that'll be, as far as the live action stuff. Traditionally, they have brought some of the guests on stage. I don't know. Now, I'm not saying anything that they don't have anything listed here, but it would be awesome, I think, to see some of the actors come on and discuss as well. As far as Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Andor series, and the Mandalorian. So that'd be really cool, I think, for that kickoff. That really would, I feel like it would make you feel like you're there. But I think, it's a Thursday. I understand not everybody does a Thursday. Everybody does kind of the Saturday thing. So that's why you mentioned Saturday one is like a big kickoff for Mando and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So, I guess my hopes are high. I'm looking forward to the special guests because I know that sometimes they like to do that kind of stuff. And just keep that in mind, too. I think sometimes they list folks that will be there, but then who knows? Everybody can show up.
True. And is that the one you're looking forward to more than the Lucasfilm one on Thursday, the Mandalorian one?
Yeah, if I was to choose, I would pick the Mando conversation on Saturday the 28th.
For me, the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase is the big one. We get to see a conversation on the 3 big series that are coming out this year, Obi-Wan, Andor, and Mandalorian. And for me, the one that I'm super excited about, because I know the least about it, is the Andor series. That comes from the main, my current number 1 Star Wars film, the Rogue One, the characters in there. And so I'm super, super excited to see that. What I will say is this is the one that I'm most excited about when I look at all 3 of these. And it's hard to say, who's not excited about any of these panels, but this one is the one I'm super excited about. And I'm glad to get it off my chest on Thursday morning. That's big.
Very good. Well, yeah, hopefully. So people are going to want to know, like in the old days, in the pre-virtual Q days that Cory and I were first a part of. Because Cory, this is your 4th celebration.
It is. Yep.
It is my 5th, and it is Tom's 2nd. So we've got various degrees of sort of, but my very first celebration was Celebration 3 in Indianapolis, and I went for 1 day. And I thought, oh, that's plenty. Little did I know.
Yeah,
Little
right.
did I know. But how it used to be was you had to wait in line overnight, and then for Celebration Orlando, they said, "Hey, you can't line up till 6 a.m." And Cory and I were like, "Oh, sweet, we'll just get there at 5:30." But people still lined up all night anyway. It was super in the dark, and it was super frustrating. But now we have a virtual system, which is what we had for Celebration Chicago. I'm already seeing a lot of consternation and worry, but we've already done this. We did it for Celebration Chicago. I thought it worked out very, very well. I'm going to read to you what it says on the website, and then we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
Virtual panel selection will allow fans to enter a random drawing for admission to the first panel of each day on the Celebration stage, Galaxy stage, and Twin Sun stage all weekend long. Fans will be eligible to enter the drawing for themselves and any additional tickets they purchased on their original order. Virtual panel selections provide peace of mind and eliminate the need for fans to camp out overnight. Fans who are randomly selected, and it is random, for admission to the first panels each morning on the Celebration stage, Galaxy stage, and Twin Sun stage will be sent a QR code via email in advance of the show, so there is no need to queue up early. And this is in all bold on StarWars.com. For the safety and comfort of all fans, overnight queuing is not permitted at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim 2022 or any other panel stage. And then let's see down there. Let me look a little bit more. Also, by the way, there's going to be plenty of, besides the panels, some of the top brands in the world of Star Wars and collectibles are going to be having exclusive exhibitor items. They will also be utilizing the virtual random selection process described above that we just talked about. And if you're selected randomly, you're going to get the opportunity to access your panel selection via email, as well as what you're going to purchase. And then for the store, the Lightspeed Lane reservation process will allow fans to reserve time slots for the official merchandise store and more, in addition to a section of reserved seating at the Galaxy stage and Twin Suns stage for all panels after the first panel of the day. The Lightspeed Lane reservation process will be available on our website and mobile app starting at 9 a.m. each morning of Star Wars Celebration, Thursday through Sunday. Your physical badge must be activated in order for you to make your reservations. We encourage you to pick up your badge early during our extended registration hours. And one other quick thing before we start talking about this, the Lightspeed Lane reservations are a first-come, first-served basis. You can make one Lightspeed Lane reservation per stage per day for panels on the Galaxy and Twin Sun stages. It doesn't include the live streaming of the morning panels either. Now, if you're going to go to the Star Wars Celebration live stage, the podcast stage, the university stage, the collector stage, and the fan stage, that's open to all fans, and they do not require random selection or advanced panel reservations. So that is a lot of information. Let me try to synthesize it down for you. Basically, when you get your badges in the mail, that is going to be how you're going to be able to try to get into these lotteries. And I believe you get an email, refresh my memory if I'm wrong, guys. You get an email saying, you get a separate email for each one that you apply to. Like, you got the Mandalorian one, you did not get the Lucasfilm one, something to that effect. And then, like, for Funko or Hasbro or Lego, no one's really said who's going to be exclusively. But I'm just picking those three because those are the three biggest ones. I mean, to my mind, to my way of thinking, you'll get an email saying, yes, you can get in line to buy these or you cannot. And then sometimes at the end of the day, if there's any left over, they'll let you do that. But I mean, let's be honest, with Funko, who are we kidding? That's not going to happen. Right. So why don't you guys share? Because I was fortunate last time I did that, but then I didn't have to because I, as a member of the media, Disney just contacted me and then they saved me a seat. So I didn't have to deal with this, but I completely sympathize and understand what that is like. And you two are great to talk about with this. So let everybody know kind of what that process is like. And to my way of thinking, it gives you great peace of mind because at least you know way before you get there, look, I'm not getting in, but I can go find a seat and watch it streaming or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I get the frustration because it's like, you're between two different stages or two different, your first pick versus your second pick. And it was difficult because I think, you want everything, but you can't have everything. Yeah. So I remember from my memory, I got a pretty good, my first picks were pretty good, pretty solid. I feel like I saw everything I wanted to see. I think I missed one or two things that which I didn't get into, but everything that was, as far as I think it was the, everything that I knew.
You're in Phantom Menace 1, I remember.
I did not get into the, what was it? It was when they debuted the
Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker, yeah, because Tom and I sat outside in the event arena or the Star Wars
on the floor
and watched it on our phones. So we're doing that. That actually was kind of fun, but we were a little delayed, of course, and everybody's like, you can hear the excitement in the room, and it just feels like, man, I missed it. That stinks, But that I think you're also with the other people who didn't get in. So they're all kind of huddled around as a secondary trope of folks that are all cheering and getting excited as well. So I mean, there's a different experience there. So don't feel like you don't get to see it or don't get to have an experience. I think there's definitely another way to experience that if you don't get into some of these panels or releases or whatever. So, and I feel like also, I mean, I want to put this out there that not to downplay anything that is coming out, but we don't have any feature Star Wars films coming out. So there's nothing that's going to be, as far as I know, announced that's huge. We have Kenobi's a big one, I think, and Mandalorian season 3 is a big one. Things of that nature. But in my head, like, if I didn't get a main stage, like I wouldn't be, upset that much. I guess I feel so. There's a little peace of mind there, like you said, that you do get what you get, but also I do feel like I'm just going to be okay going on the floor and experiencing it that way.
Tom, you also were a part of the virtual queue. You were part of that stuff with Cory. What was the process like for you? And did you experience disappointment too, or were you kind of at peace with what happened?
You know what? I was really surprised at how much it didn't bother me. I remember when those emails were coming in and all of that, and I was like, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. In fact, I think I only got one thing, and I think it was the Phantom Menace panels, what I got into, which was perfectly fine with me. I would have loved to have been in any of the others, but I have to say I was totally at peace with it because it allowed me to sort of look around and do things while everybody was consumed with what was going on there. And you sort of saw the show from a different side of things. One thing is you make the realization that I may not be sitting in there for this live announcement with the cast and everything, but you know what? I'm here. That's what I kept having to tell myself is I am here. I'm going to be one of the first people to know about all of this information. I won't be there for the excitement and the cheering when someone comes on stage. But I was okay with that. I really was. And I have to say not being in one of those, and it was the movie trailer release where Ian walks out and says, "Play it again," or whatever it was he said.
Roll it again.
That was probably one of my favorite moments of Star Wars 2019 was Cory, you just talked about.
Yeah.
We tried to navigate around and try to get up to the Star Wars show stage. And remember how packed it was?
Yeah.
I mean, there were people backed up in the vendor areas, and some of the vendors were getting a little cranky, understandably. I mean, we're blocking their game. And so you and I ended up going off to the side with our phones, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
But the thing that was so cool, besides being able to be there and you and I enjoy that moment, what was fun was you mentioned the delay. We could hear the Star Wars stage.
Yep.
They react, and you and I would be like, "What's coming? What's coming? What's coming?" We knew something big was coming based on what was happening, 50, 100 feet away from us, but our phones are delayed. So you know what? The fact that I wasn't in there for that, it would have been great to be in there. But the fact that I wasn't created a wonderful memory that I will never forget. And so I was perfectly fine with it. I personally, being not a huge crowd person, although we really navigated a crowd that day, I would not want to ruin the celebration by being drained from sitting up all night. And I think you guys experienced that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's not the way I want to spend celebration, being totally flattened because I stayed up all night to get into one panel. What about the rest of celebration? And I'll just say, for people who've never been there or people who are maybe in the same place I am, when you were reading those rules, Dan, my blood pressure started to rise as I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss something. I just have to think back and think, I never felt that way when I was there.
Right.
Because there were so many wonderful things. And again, I just sit there and think, I'm here.
That's right. So that would be my advice. Apply to the panels that you want to get to see.
Yep.
Hopefully the Force is with you and you get to see them. If you do, great. You don't have to worry about it. You're just going to go get in the line when they tell you to, and you're going to get in and get a seat. Wonderful. If not, then hopefully you'll get into one of the side rooms where it's not the actual live experience, but it's still right there, and you're still in a massive crowd of people watching on a huge, huge screen, which Cory and I did for Celebration Orlando for the Star Wars anniversary where John Williams came out, and we weren't in the room when John Williams played, but we got to be in the room with a bunch of other people watching on a massive screen, and that was pretty neat too. I think the ultimate thing is Star Wars is really at its best when it's a shared experience. So if you're not able to get to the main room or what have you, then hang out with your people that you're with and find somewhere to watch it together. If there's a stage experience, whether it's a live action StarWars.com stage, although nothing has been said about that this year, so who knows? So that would be something that I would do. or just go into one of the side stages, or like Tom and Cory did, grab an iPad or your phone or your computer and watch it together, and you'll hear the ambiance of the people getting excited, and that's pretty special. But I still think the virtual queue is much better than anything else because you don't have to wait in lines forever. I mean, the different celebration stores we had to get into, the one at Anaheim years ago in 2015 was impossible to get in.
Right.
Or when you did, everything was gone. And then for Orlando, you had to wait in line forever.
That was the longest wait we had.
It was. And then for the last one, it was like this now, the Lightspeed thing where you sign up and then there's a time when you can go. And then you go into the stores fairly empty-ish. I mean, it's not very crowded. And, there'll be a decent amount of merchandise there. Will it all be there? It's really hard to say. Maybe not, but you just got to hope for the best. If you're basing it on just those experiences, then you might be setting yourself up to be potentially disappointed. And you've already waited so long to go to Star Wars Celebration anyway. So enjoy the moment. Enjoy being with all these incredible Star Wars fans who are so passionate. Make new friends. Get reacquainted with friends you haven't seen in forever. You talk to people you see on Twitter. Come to the Celebration podcast meetup, which, by the way,
yes,
I want to say, people keep asking me this too. The podcast meetup is not just for podcasts. It's for people who like listening to podcasts. So if you are a fan of a podcast, then come. You can meet some of your favorite podcasters. I mean, that is the best part about it. It's not just other podcasters talking to each other with a secret handshake. There is no secret handshake. So we want you all to come. Be sure to spread the word on that. Anybody who likes listening to Star Wars podcasts, you are welcome. We want to see you there at the Anaheim Mix Lounge.
Thursday, 26th.
26th. Thursday, the 26th. Thank you. So Thursday, 26th, we want to see you there. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a really quick look at some of the panels that were announced for Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. This is Coffee with Kenobi.
This is Vanessa Marshall, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi.
We are back, and we're going to take a look at the panels that were announced today. We have got quite a few of them. We've got the Star Wars Celebration Anaheim panel schedule. It is on StarWars.com, and it is on the Star Wars Celebration stage. You've got the Celebration stage, you've got the Galaxy stage, and you've got the Twin Sun stage. The Galaxy stage and the Celebration stage are the two premier stages for the weekend. But so I'll tell you what they're all about. The Celebration stage will shine with bright stars and original entertainment all weekend long, presenting panels on upcoming projects, intimate conversations with creators, and other live events that you'll want to add to your Celebration weekend plans. That's on the Anaheim Convention Center Arena. Level 3 is the Galaxy stage. That is one of two premier stages for the weekend. The best first looks on the big screen are planned, as well as a wide variety of shows featuring the depth and breadth of the Star Wars universe. Catch conversations with the Masters, celebrity appearances, and more. Enjoy the pre-show before each session, too. And then finally, the Twin Sun stage on level 2. Celebration's Twin Sun stage covers the ins and outs of what goes into creating the Star Wars universe, hosting guests who make it happen for movies, television, toys, books, comics, and more. So there are a number of panels. We're not going to go through all of them now. I mean, I think as we get closer to Celebration, we'll probably do a top 5 like we usually do for panels. Mm-hmm. But are there any that sort of stand out to either of you kind of right off the bat? Cory, why don't you go first on this one?
Yeah, as I said earlier, obviously I'm a big Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni fan. Mandalorian is a huge impact for me as a Star Wars fan. I'm excited to see what they have to say about that. Another one that stands out to me, Galaxy Far, Far Away, the Disney park near you. Obviously, we love Galaxy's Edge. I want to see what's going on there. They're going to talk about the Galactic Star Cruiser, which, Dan, you've experienced as well. Love to hear more about that. I'd love to hear the behind the scenes, that type of stuff, like what went into making that happen. I think it's really exciting. And speaking of that, I could listen to Doug Chang all day long, I think. I love to hear his passion behind designing behind the Mandalorian helmet there. So he's got a cool panel there too as well. So those are just a tip of the iceberg, if you will, of like kind of my running list in my head right now. I'm kind of get some. And that's the other thing too. I'm making this list up in my head. I'm like, man, I'm going to be running all over the place if I even get into some of these, So, but then, like I said, I don't want to discount the side stages with the podcast stages and the other stages that are available to go to you you don't have to wait in line for. You can just go and do those. So I want to shuffle those in like a good deck of cards and have a really robust kind of experience along the way.
Very good. Tom, what about you?
Love it. Well, I'll say two categories that I'm super excited about: books and games. There's lots of both of those, and I was recently on the Rebel Base Card podcast with Greg, and he asked me what are some things that I'm looking forward to for Celebration, and one of them was I can't wait to hear. I didn't know this was happening, but this confirmed it today. That I was like, I can't wait to hear more about the High Republic and hear from those authors, and we get a panel with them, so that's really cool. The Asmodee is doing a series, a panel with some of their biggest games from Fantasy Flight Games. Oh my gosh, that's another great memory from 2019 is playing X-Wing with David Nicely and his daughters. That was
we were just
so
talking
much
about
fun.
that. Yeah,
yeah, and to see what's coming from those areas of gaming. Can't wait for that. The comics panels, there's a couple of them I think that have some our comics are the theme, and I love those things. Obviously, being a librarian, those are things that really appeal to me. I like hanging out with authors. I get to see one every day almost, so that's awesome. But those are some of the things that when I look at this panel schedule that I was really excited to see that I was hoping they would be there, and they are.
Awesome. There's some really fun ones, some great ones. There's a fun one on the Galaxy stage, I believe on Sunday, called The Wonderful World of Wookiees. Amy's going to be chatting with Eunice Suetamo, Carrie Jones plays Chrysanthemum, and then Charles Soule, who is credited with creating Buryaga from the High Republic. So that's pretty fun. There's a Delroy thing behind the scenes, which is always good. Flying under the radar, there's a panel coming out called Tales of the Jedi.
I saw the one. I got that.
Tales of the Jedi, yeah. An animated anthology shorts. So I don't really know anything about this, but it's kind of flown under the radar. But hello, that's kind of a big deal, I would say. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see about that. Exactly. 35 Years of Star Tours Adventure on, I believe that Thursday is pretty fun. I know that's on Friday. Star Wars merchandise sneak peeks from the Disney parks, which will be great. Hasbro's got a panel. And then on, I've got a panel actually that neither of you mentioned, so you're both fired. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say things and not say things. I'm sworn to secrecy around here.
That's true. That's true. Now, on the university stage on May 26th from 12:30 to 1:30, I will be returning to give the mythology of Star Wars behind the facts and the fiction panel on the university stage. As we talked about before, when I was going to do it the last time, I had other different co-hosts and ended up just being me. But now it's just going to be me. And if you ever wondered what it was like to be in one of my classes, this is probably the best bet for you to do that. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be the only panel that I am doing as far as not hosting one. And then I know I talked about this on Facebook Live. I probably need to address on social media. But unfortunately, Coffee with Kenobi will not, for the first time, be on the podcast stage. And that is because I am one of the main stage hosts. So this is a good trade-off. I'm definitely going to miss being up there with the two of you doing that. But, again, I know this is the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, but I'm not able to clone myself, so there will not be able to be a Coffee with Kenobi podcast. It won't be on the podcast stage, but it's not for lack of wanting to. It's just that it wouldn't work out with my schedule. So, there we are.
It's fair.
There
I
we
mean,
are.
like, it makes sense. I'm excited for you, Dan, and you mentioned it too. You'll be all over the place. And we talked about that kind of pre-show. Was just like, when are we going to see Dan? So we're excited for you. We're excited to see you, with hair on fire and having fun and having experiences, then hearing all about it afterwards. So looking forward to that.
And exciting, they've actually rented a blurg for me, so I'm going to get that to ride around all the places I need to go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've spoken.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. So those are like the main things. Again, we'll talk a little more in more detail about this. There's a lot of great things going on. Christina Ariel is going to be hosting the High Republic one. Amy's going to be doing some stuff. I'll be doing some stuff. David W. Collins. It's going to be a blast. It is going to be an absolute blast. Guys, it's been great talking about Star Wars Celebration, man. 4 weeks to go until the big event. Ooh. If you are listening right now and you have any questions about Celebration you would like us to address later, we are happy to do that. In the meantime, gentlemen, looking forward to chatting with you next week. Cory, where can everybody reach out to you if they want to continue the conversation?
Yeah, if you want to continue the conversation and let me know what panels you're looking to check out, or if maybe it's your first experience with Celebration, I'm excited to hear about that as well. Reach out on Twitter at Cory Clubb, CORYCLUBB. I can spell my name. And you can also email me, CoryC@coffeewithkenobi.com.
And Thomas, what about you? And let us know what's going on with Teachers in the Dungeon as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Teachers in the Dungeon. We're just talking about our adventures. We've been doing a lot of book reviews for some new rule books coming out, some new supplemental books coming out, and some other non-rule books. I did a solo episode recently with that. So we're really turning the pages right now in Teachers in the Dungeon. But for Star Wars conversation and to talk about Celebration, hop on Twitter and join me there at Draftline, DRAFTLINE, or just like Cory, send me an email if you've got something longer to share. Tigros it's Tom G at coffeewithkenobi.com.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here. Move along.